Welcome back to Living with Purpose as God Created You. My name is Shawanda Randolph, and I am here to help you to live with purpose and on purpose. It's really about helping you to understand that you were created for a reason. You were created to do something, and therefore we're learning to live our lives more intentionally. In this journey that we've been taking, we've been learning how to connect to living with purpose. What does it mean? What does it mean for you as an individual, as a unique created individual? How to find your purpose, how to find your calling, understanding why it's important to even walk in purpose to begin with. But as we've been talking about all these things, sometimes we get overwhelmed because we're thinking that when we're trying to figure out our calling, when we're trying to figure out our purpose, we get caught up in these huge visions. I mean, granted, we've talked about having a vision. We've talked about trying to have a vision for your life and then being able to, being on a mission to accomplish that vision. But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't have to be this huge, ginormous thing that you have to accomplish. When we think about purpose and calling, don't think that it has to be something that Gandhi or Mother Teresa has done, or that you have to be exactly like Jesus because and do the things that he's done. We get too caught up in what we are able to do now, what we're able to do in the future, and then sometimes really understanding our own individual capacity to see what it is that we are capable of doing, period. When you're thinking about your purpose, this doesn't have to be some long, drawn out, encompassing, lifelong body of work that you have to do. I mean, because if you're thinking that way, it becomes so easy to get discouraged. It becomes so easy to get overwhelmed. It makes you not want to even start. It's like you can't get off the starting block, right? It doesn't have to be that way. It makes you wonder why, when you have these goals that you're trying to accomplish, why they become overwhelming, why they feel like they're unattainable. It's because you created this vision that is just way too big for you. And it's okay to not have something that is, going to go out and just change everybody in the world. Everything is not for everybody. All things is not for all people. The good news for you, if you just focus on you, the good news for you is that you don't have to dedicate your entire life to some huge calling, right? It doesn't have to be all consuming. And you can still make a really big difference, even on a small scale, that will help out people around you. And it will also give you the benefits of living a purpose-driven life. Now, remember, keep in mind that as you go on this journey of discovering and fine-tuning your purpose, and then you want to live that purpose-driven life. Now, let me give you a couple of examples of things that you can do with purpose that can make a real difference in the lives of people around you. Now, none of these are like really, really big projects that you have to go out and do. They don't take a lot of time. They don't take a lot of money, but it makes a noticeable impact, particularly over time. And more important than finding a huge purpose or a huge calling is to live your life going forward with purpose and intention. So remember, we talked about having your resources, your gifts, your talents, and your abilities, but we also talked about your time and your energy. This is what you can use in order to make a difference in the lives of others. And these things you can do just every day. These opportunities are around you every single day. Here's your first example. Spending quality time with your loved ones. See, it doesn't cost you a lot. It doesn't cost you a lot of sacrifice to even do. But with spending quality time with your loved ones can have a profound impact on their lives. Those loved ones could be, first of all, starting with your immediate family. If you have a spouse, a significant other, or a partner, spending time with them. If you have children, spending time with them. Our lives are so hectic and so busy. We have so many things going on in our lives, especially as women. It seems like you're trying to be there for everybody and everything. And we tend to forget that quality time that we get to spend with our loved ones. We tend to take it for granted. And instead, we basically race off from one commitment to another commitment, trying to cram in a few meals, a bit of parenting here and there before collapsing on the couch and mindlessly watching television at the end of the day. Because as you ran around all day, letting everything suck the energy and suck the life out of you because you weren't being more intentional, you had nothing left in the tank to give to those that you love. And so when you come in, you're frustrated, you're annoyed, and you just want to be left alone. You try to give them a little bit of you, but the truth is that that's all you have left. It's just a little bit of you. If you become more intentional and more purposeful in how you spend your time, then you will have more in your reserve for your family, and you can give them quality time, because that's the key. Quality time. Set aside pockets of time each day to give them your full attention. Plan some fun outings and activities and truly connect with people who are most important to you. Now, that's just one example. I got another one for you. You ready? Create and sharing packages for the homeless. Create and share packages for the homeless. Now, you can do things like grabbing Ziploc bags and go to the dollar store and put little care packages together. Right at the dollar store. Include a few personal hygiene products, some non-perishable food items, maybe come across some socks or, a hat, especially if it's summer or winter, right? Put them in your car and hand them out to those who are displaced as you come across them. What you're doing is you're sharing generosity and kindness every day. As you're spreading this generosity and kindness and love, again, it will help you to understand that you're making an impact in someone else's life, and you'll automatically see the impact that you're making in their life as well. If you are in an area where you are near a military base, consider making connections to those who live on those installations. Now, I will tell you as a veteran, this is something that has more of a greater impact than you realize. In every town where you have a military installation, you have young service members who are away from their homes. They can't get home for the holidays. A lot of times they can't get away. They're far away from family. A lot of times this is the first time they've ever been away from home. But there are little things that you can do to make that connection. There are things that you can share. You can be a buddy to someone who is new in the area. If you work with some of the agencies on the installation, then maybe you can invite them out to a meal and get to know them. You can also be a part of organizations or support organizations that provide care packages to service members overseas, because there's nothing like getting a care package when you're downrange or you're away from family or you're just out there alone. Getting those packages really do help make a difference. You can also declutter your home and begin downsizing your possessions. Now, how is this really making a difference? Especially when you are talking about, well, I want to make an impact in the lives of others. Well, it starts with home. Everything starts with you and starts with home, because as much as you think that you can go out and make a huge difference in the world, it starts with you having that firm foundation in your life first before you can give something to someone else. And if you are living in a space where everything is very cluttered, then it's time to declutter your space, which will also start helping you to really think about what you're doing and why you're doing it in the first place and why you have what you have. Living with purpose is all about living intentionally. Living with purpose is all about living intentionally. So why not declutter your home and downsize some of your possessions in general to make sure you have the time and the space and the finances in order to actually live with purpose and to actually walk towards your calling. If you have too much around you, those things are taking up your time. Those things are taking up your energy. If you are just going out and you're just, spending your finances without being more intentionally, and then you can't turn around and complain that you don't have the ability to go out and make a difference somewhere else. It's because you are wasting the resources that have been given to you. You must learn how to steward your resources properly and start stewarding them with the things that you have at home. You can also, as you're going through your decluttering, you can donate items that you don't need to an agency that can use them, and then you can help someone else because you're not using them, they're just sitting there. So think of how what you have can make a huge difference in the lives of others. But as you do that, make sure that you are connecting with those agencies to understand what they need and what their boundaries are. Because if you have a lot of clutter in your home, part of your challenge is a lack of boundaries. And so you have to be mindful of that as you continue to step out and connect to other agencies, because you want to understand the boundaries that they have so that you can learn to respect those boundaries. So clean up your boundary first by decluttering your space, and start respecting your time, start respecting your energy, start respecting your finances, start respecting gifts, talents, and abilities that God has for you, and steward those rightfully so that you can go and be there for other people while you are respecting their boundaries as well. So remember that if you notice that I gave you a couple of examples, and these things are very, very simple. They don't cost you anything. But they will help you to live a more purpose-driven life. Living a purpose-driven life does not mean that you have to go out in the community and actually just try to change everybody's life. Sometimes we want to help someone else. In order to help someone else, the change really has to start with you. And that is the thing to remember. Start with you first, because the work that you do with you, the work that you do at home, the work that you do with your family, that is going to make the big difference, because it's what you have inside of you that you're able to give to someone else. Another aspect is that living with purpose and doing these small things is just as important as doing something huge. Doing something within your own home is just as important as going out and changing the life of someone else, of a total stranger that you don't know. Start there and then branch out, and then who knows where that'll take you. Start with the small things. Start with what's in your capacity, what's in your boundaries, what's in your space. If you can't give love and time and energy to your loved ones who are right there waiting to see you every day, then how can you possibly go out and give your time and energy to a total stranger? Take care of home first. How can you go out and want to change the life of someone else if you're not willing to change your own life first? It starts with you. So start with you and start at home, and then go ahead and start out and branch out into your community. Because remember, living with purpose does not have to be an act that maybe Mother Teresa or Gandhi or Jesus has done, but it can truly start with you. Love yourself first. Make a difference with you, and realize that you are worth it. You are worth it all. You are worth your own time. You are worth your own energy before you go out and try to share that with anyone else. Take the small steps and enjoy the journey and finding your calling. Take the small steps and enjoy the journey of finding your purpose and learning to live with purpose more intentionally every day, and steward the gifts that God has given you. I hope this has been helpful for you. I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. You can go ahead and follow me also on Facebook and also on Instagram. Leave some comments over there to let me know how you're doing with this journey. Give me some feedback. If you also need some additional help, by all means, you can reach out to me at shawandarandolph.com, and you can sign up for emails and newsletters to kind of get more additional information. You can also schedule a one-on-one appointment with me as well, so that we can work through some of these things of helping you to live with purpose and on purpose. And oh, by the way, we're starting a new group, a new community called She Builds According to Her Faith. What better time to help move this into something greater into your life? What She Builds, it's a community for women visionaries. And within there, we have two very unique groups that we will branch out to as well, to give you some individualized attention. One is Single Mom Network. She Builds Single Mom Network is for single moms that want to live a life and build a legacy for their children and their children's children. And then you have She Leads Community. She Leads Community is for service providers. So if you are a woman that works in a field that provides a service to someone else, or you are a woman that has a business that provides service to someone else, this is where you can be in this group and help uplift one another. Because as a service provider, you tend to wear your heart on your sleeve and you want to make a difference in the life of others. But sometimes you forget to take care of you, and you need a community that can support and uplift you. And you guys understand this journey together, but then you also get some additional support as well. That additional support will come in the form of mentoring sessions, one-on-one sessions, and then our quarterly meetups that we'll do. So join She Builds. There's more information on the website at shawandarandolph.com/She Builds. It'll take you to the page to learn about these new communities. I hope to see you there. Register today